Hi, this is Mason Schmidt reporting for KGFW. We're at the Gibbon Sportsman Club. Today we're doing a special on ice safety. This is really important stuff. Let's go meet some of the firemen. We're out here on Clear Lake by Gibbon, Minnesota, and we're watching a presentation on ice safety. The first person we're going to interview is Toby Bruins. Can you tell us what's going on out today?
Yeah, today we're out here practicing on an ice rescue to save little kids like you when they fall through the ice.
This looks pretty scary.
No, actually, if you can look in the background here, these guys with the orange suits on, those will keep the rescuers warm and they'll be able to go in the water and be able to save you.
How's everything gone today?
Actually, it's went pretty good. We're going ahead of schedule and the people are catching on very quickly.
What's one of the main things people should remember when they're going out in the ice?
Well, one of the things is no matter how thick the ice is never safe. The only way you won't fall through the ice is if you're on shore and not out there. And especially out in temperatures like this, if you do happen to fall through, you want to have ice picks on you to be able to hopefully get yourself out of the ice. So that's one of the biggest safety precautions that you can have, is having ice picks on you yourself.
Say, can you tell us a little bit about the orange suit?
Yeah, the orange suit is set up that it's got buoyancy for the rescuer to be able to stay above the water, and with that they're able to stay warm and dry inside the suit. And in this water, 32.5 degree water, they're able to stay in that water for 14 hours before hypothermia will set in. So it's basically keeping the rescuer safe and warm.
What's hypothermia?
Hypothermia is what sets in when you are getting colder and your body core yourself is losing its body temperature, and that's what your body starts to shut down. Your heart and your extremities, everything starts to shut down due to the temperature of your body.
Tell me, what are ice picks?
Ice picks are used, they stab their way into the ice and then they're able to help you crawl along the ice. I'll go grab a pair and then I'll be able to show you them.
Okay.
They got a pick in the end there like that, and that'll drive its way into the ice so you're able to crawl across the ice. So it goes about like this. That is used to be able to help you get your way out of the ice if you ever would fall in. So any fisherman or ice skater should have these on them when they are on the ice.
What kind of boat is that?
That is an Atlantis rescue boat. And that is used, as you'll be able to see here on once our next rescuer goes, that is used to be able to get the rescuer out of the water when we're only dealing with 1 or 2 inches of ice. And instead of our rescuers falling in, they'll be riding out there on that boat.
We're going to watch some of this in action.
Sounds good. Stick around.
Okay. What's it like wearing that thing?
It's pretty comfortable. You can move around. Here's the air hole to actually get all the air out when you jump in. It's a pretty new tool that we got.
Were you scared the first time you had to jump in with that?
I was a little nervous, but I wouldn't say I was scared. It was more of a thrill to me than scaredness. So I think it's a great tool for the Gibbon Fire Department that we decided to do this, and having this many lakes around the area, I think it's going to be a great addition to our fire department.
Anything else you want to share with the viewers?
Just to, let them know and have them aware that we do have this kind of equipment, and another thing, like I said, it's just great for the fire department.
Mitch, thanks a lot for having us out here today.
Well, thanks for coming. I'm glad you guys could share this experience with us.
This is Mason Schmidt signing off for KGFW. Let's go get some cookies.
Hi, I'm Stephanie Palmer reporting for KGFW, and we're at the Crow River Press. We're going to see how our newspaper is made.
Hi, good morning.
And your name is?
I'm Louise Kicker. I'm the advertising manager of the Fairfax Standard-Gazette newspaper, and we're here at Crow River Press to get our newspaper printed today with your help.
Looks like there's a pretty big camera in here.
It sure is. It's big enough to take one of these pages and shoot the whole page at once. That's pretty big, isn't it?
Yeah. How long does it usually take to run a newspaper?
Well, we have to first shoot the pages, which takes maybe 10 minutes, and then they do a lot of work in the room behind us, which is fun to go into too. And then after they print the paper, which probably takes maybe 20 minutes, we have to then put labels on it, which probably takes another half hour. So somewhere in there, depending on if there's any problems, an hour and 15 minutes to about an hour and a half.
What's done with original when you're all finished?
Well, we take this page, all these pages back to Fairfax, to our main office, and a lot of time, and we use them over because all the headings stay in the same place each week, and we just take everything off. Or maybe there's an ad that runs for 2 weeks, so it can stay on that page, and then we just put new stuff around it. So all the pages come back to Fairfax. And we also take back all the big negatives, because when we shoot this page, it turns into a big negative. And we'll show you that a little later. And that comes back too.
Well, let's get started.
Great idea. Okay. Now we're going to start by putting an odd number page, page 7. And on here we have special marks where we put the side for an even number on this side. For an odd numbered page, we have to push it more to this side. So I'm going to place that page real close to here, and the bottom comes down on the tape there. Then we close this up. We release this so it's to the side, and I push this first button. You can hear the camera kind of rolling. That's getting a fresh negative in place. And when these little lights come on, we get to push this second button, the one in the middle. And then all these lights go off, and that big light goes on. And we have to make sure that we aren't in any shadows of those lights. Otherwise, it will put a shadow on this page. We put it back down. We release this one over here and take and put a new page in. So who wants to help with the next page? Page 2. Is that an even or an odd page? Even. Okay. So why don't you come right over here. Well, first of all, to speed this up, push that button. Okay, then we can do this other work. See this little line right there? Line the page up on right to there and even with this. Can you reach it? Yeah, there you go. Pull this down. Kind of pull it hard so it snaps right there. Should I give you a hand? There you go. Now release that. Pull it down. Okay? Now, are the little lights on? Then press that one. Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. About 12 to 13 seconds, I think, or push it. Which way does it go? There we go. That releases the page. Take this page and put it on this side and bring the next page.
Hey, there's a picture of some KGFW kids. This is kind of a fun one to run.
Pull this down. It's kind of hard. I'll give you a hand with that. There you go. Push this button. Release that. And then watch for the lights and push that one when the lights come on. In. There you go. side of the box.
Was that hard?
No.
Now, the next spot we get to go is in where they're doing the negatives, and we get to go through a really fun little area. It's kind of like a spaceship, so beam me up, Scotty.
Well, let's go then.
Kids keep disappearing on me.
What's your name?
My name is Sid.
Where are we now?
We are in the plate room, and we are working on the negatives, and we make the plates here, and we also develop the plates out and bend them and get them ready for the press. Right now I'm just putting little holes in here that we put everything lines up on the plates, and that's what we do with this. It's just a punch, negative punch. And then I'm going to take it over to the light table. I'm going to take it over to the light table here, and it's called opaquing, but what we do is we fill in all the little spots that aren't supposed to be there. Anything little white spot like that, we take and we opaque that so that they don't show up. Otherwise, they'd show up black on the newspaper. See, everything here is just the opposite. It's called a negative, so it's just the opposite of what you would see on your paper. All the type will be in black.
Yeah, that looks kind of weird that way.
Yep. There's usually, nowadays there's not very much on there anymore. They're always pretty clean. In the olden days there was a lot of opaquing we always had to do because people would what we do is call cut and paste, where they all would be little stories. Nowadays everything is such, it's like a whole big white sheet of paper, and there's not much dirt and stuff on there anymore. Now we'll take and come over here. We're going to take and burn it back into a positive. Right now it's a negative. We're going to make it into a positive again, and we're going to burn it on this plate. We call it burn it. It's actually just exposed is all it is. It's ultraviolet light, and we expose it. There's a plate underneath there. I'll take that out I'll show you when I take it out. But it's just a vacuum frame. We take it and we suck it up against the plate itself. We flip it over, and we expose it to ultraviolet light in there. Right there it comes on now. You can't really see it, and you're not actually even supposed to see it because it'll hurt your eyes if you look at it. Now I'm going to take, this is what I was telling you, the plate. If you can look really close, you can see it's on there. The Standard Gazette's on there. This is just a sheet of aluminum. It's 8,000 thick. And now what we'll do is we'll stick it in here, and it'll come out completely. It'll wash this off. This green coating on there is what is the light sensitive, and that's what we did in there. We exposed it to the light, and now we're going to wash all that off except for what we want to be on the newspaper.
What's this machine called?
This is called just a regular plate processor. It processes the plate and gets it ready to go on the press.
How many different newspapers are made up here?
We probably print in the area of 20, 25 different papers. We go south like Winthrop, Fairfax, down that way. We go north, Litchfield, all the papers around there. West, we go out to Olivia, Renville, and then we go towards the cities. We print a few down that way. Daskell, Cato, Winstead, all of them. Plus a lot of them have shoppers, which we do. So we're kept pretty busy all week long. Now you can see everything is back to being a positive. You can see everything is just the opposite it was when it was on the negative. And now these are two pages together. This will be the front page. This is the back page. It's all come on the same piece of paper when you get it, when we run it. It's just one is the opposite. So you pair them up that way. Now I'm going to put a couple bends on it. What this does is, see, there's those holes again that I showed you where we first punched them. You can see them on there. Now I'm going to take them and put them on here, which lines up with the holes again. And these two bends that I put on here is what keeps it on the press. It goes on a round cylinder, and we'll keep it on the press that way. You'll be able to see that when we take it out to the press. Got to be kind of careful with this stuff. It's really sharp, so you could cut yourself pretty easily. So we all got to be a little bit careful. Okay, we'll come out to the press now. They've all got to go, like certain pages got to go together. They got to go in certain order on the press, so that all your pages come out in the right order. Now as you can see, Todd's going to put it, remember where I put those two bends on there? They're going to go on that round cylinder there. That bell rings so that everybody else in the press room knows that the press is going to turn, so you keep your fingers away from it. It'll roll them right up there.
This is a pretty big machine.
Yes, it is. We can print up to 24 pages at a time. That would be twice as big as this paper is. We can do it at one time. Plus put colors on there.
Todd, is this really hard?
No, it's not that hard. Looks hard though, doesn't it?
There's sure a lot of different gadgets.
Lots of them.
Okay, now what we do is we take and we adjust the ink and the pages up and down. So you can see this one's off a little bit. So we'll move that up and down. We'll move the image on there. We'll move the paper so that it lines up this way and the pages get on there. And we'll also set it so that it's not really heavy in ink some places and not really light in some places. And that's what we're doing now. It's called setup.
How long does it take for the ink to dry on there?
Newspaper ink really does never dry. If you'll notice that if you take a paper for, I shouldn't say never, but it doesn't dry while you have it in your hands. It's always a little bit wet. You can always smear it a little bit. Ink that you can get on, like something you get out of a magazine, that's dry. But newspaper ink never designed to dry. We never take it out of the press. It just stays in there, so we can't have it dry.
Oh, okay.
Keep it in there all the time. But it'll get to the point where it doesn't rub off very easy, so you don't get your fingers all real dirty.
Hey, it's speeding up. How's it look?
Well, it's looking pretty good this week.
What does it mean when they say hot off the press?
Well, hot off the press is right there. I'm going to pan the camera over. Paper's coming right off the press. That means it's hot off the press. Kind of the ink is even wet a little bit. See how on your hands?
How many copies of this newspaper are made?
Well, the Fairfax Standard Gazette, which covers Fairfax, Gibbon, Franklin, Morton. When we go over to Winthrop, we have about 1,600 copies.
That's a lot.
Yeah, it's a small newspaper, but we've won a lot of awards over the years, so we're pretty proud of our product. It's important to be visually strong. You know, it's a 6-column format paper. This is called your flag, which is like your signature, like you write your name. Well, this is the newspaper's name. This is the flag.
Do you know who Johann Gutenberg is?
See, Wade is putting me on the spot. He's the guy who invented the printing press. Ah, I got him.
What do you think he would say if he saw this machine?
He would be able to print a lot more copies a lot faster than what he did with the thing that he had.
What's it like being the editor of the newspaper?
Well, it has rewards, but it also has its trials and tribulations too. You have to walk a thin line sometimes, but if you're honest and fair and accurate, then it all comes out really well.
How many years has the Fairfax Gazette been around or been printed?
Well, the Fairfax Standard has been around for over 100 years, and then in 2000 we combined Gibbon into Fairfax, so it became the Fairfax Gibbon Gazette. So the Fairfax Gibbon Gazette has been together about 7 years, but overall the paper is about 107 years old.
There's sure a lot of history in our towns.
Yeah, that's right, Stephanie, and that's one of the jobs of the newspaper is to record the history of the town, to provide the information, and we like to say our slogan is, information is our business. So people through the years will come into our office and they'll look up various events or obituaries, and they do research on families. So it records the town history, not let alone covering like city government and your schools and sports and providing all the news for the town.
When did you first become interested in taking pictures?
Well, I can say probably back in 1965, I asked my mom to order the Minneapolis Tribune for me because I was interested in newspapers then. And then I went to college and went to journalism school, and I started at the Wilmer Tribune back in 1973. So I've been at this for 33 years. And I went to Florida on a newspaper for a while, and then I've been at Fairfax now for the last 27 years, which is my hometown. And I really got interested in photos probably around 1982. And since then, we've won 29 photo awards and 80 awards overall. And the last award I won was your sister, Megan, right? Yep. And we won a photo award, a feature photography award.
That just sounds like a lot of fun.
Okay, now that the paper's been printed, you'll see it come by here. They'll put it on the rack, and then they'll take it over into our circulation room where it goes through the label machine where it puts the addresses of our subscribers on the paper, and then it gets put into the mail bags, and then we take it back to the post office and deliver it. So you'll be able to see that next.
Okay, let's go. So where are we now?
Right now we are in the mail room. This is where we insert papers and mail them. We label them and get them all ready for going to the post office.
How long does it usually take for one city's newspaper to go through the whole system?
Well, it would depend upon the paper, but probably I would say close to an hour. Would you like to come with me and I'll show you the process here?
Sure.
Okay. Okay, the first thing, after they're printed in the web department, then they come over here. And this is called the inserting mailroom department. And we insert the papers with the Galaxy that we do. We print that also here at Crow River Press. And that's like once a week. Most of the papers get this little insert, except for a lot of the out-of-state people don't get it, but a lot of the in-state people get it. And we put 1,600 of them in this Fairfax paper. And as you can see, we have 2 stations going today. There were no outside inserts except for this Galaxy. if you want to point the camera over to the stations here, we've got Dan over there, and as the newspaper is coming down the first station, it picks up the Galaxy from the second station. Okay, we have Judy down here, and right now she's counting the newsstand copies that go to the newsstands. Then they get tied up, and Louise puts them over there on the gray cart. And that's the ones that go to all the stores that want to sell the newspaper for the Fairfax-Gibbon area. And then the next step is mailing, and that's my expertise. Okay, so I'm going to go over there and I'm going to start setting up the paper, and then I'm going to start mailing the paper. And then as it comes down, Judy will collect the papers down here, and then Louise will be tying them. And the first ones that come off don't need to get bagged. Fairfax and Gibbon don't need to get bagged, but the ones that go out of the area and out of state will need to go in bags. So then she'll be bagging them in those big white bags. So I will go over there now and get that set up. Okay?
Okay.
Where all these newspapers get mailed to?
Well, first we start out by going to Fairfax, and then Gibbon, Winthrop, Gaylord, Hutchinson, and then all over Minnesota. There we have some bags, one bag that goes to New Ulm and one to Sleepy Eye. Then we have a bunch that go just to other places in Minnesota. Then we have one box that all the out-of-state ones will go to. And I'll get that box for you. I'll show it to you. One second.
Okay.
This is called a mail tub, or they call it maybe a large flat. This is the label that I have to put in this little slot right here. And that tells it that everything has to go to Minneapolis, and then they divide it out there to go to all the different states. So it gets a lot faster at the very end when we have to do the out-of-state ones. And we go into 37 different states, all the way from the East Coast and even one into Alaska.
Wow. All right, where are we now?
Now we're getting ready to label the papers. I've got the label machine filled here, and it'll run down the machine and it'll put a label on. So you can put your camera over there and we'll look at that and watch that. And as you can see, then the labels will go on the papers. They go down the conveyor belt and Judy will pick them up. So I'm going to continue doing this and you guys can watch it. Is that okay?
Okay.
Well, I'm watching to make sure all the labels get on straight. Judy, at the other end, will pick up the papers and put them in piles. Then I will go to the other end and strap them together so they all stay in one pile. So you can help me with that a little later.
Okay.
When we get to a little one that has a pink sign on it, that means that's the end of it breaks there. Maybe it means that it starts a different route, or maybe it starts a different town. So Judy is very careful to watch for those little pink marks that are on the label.
Okay. What's going on here?
Well, we're piling the papers up into stacks, so we just high enough that we can handle them easily. This is papers for Fairfax, and you notice there's a pink label at the top. That means that this is one division, and in fact, our Fairfax Post Office divides the papers up into 7 different sections, and this is one of the sections. So now I'm going to take and use the strapping machine here. Right now I've got it that it'll do the first strap automatically, and the second strap, there's a little knee thing that I have to push to make the second strap. And it's ready to go. And it's ready to go, and I can carry it this way.
Can I try it?
Sure, come around to this side.
Looks like everything's all bundled up. What's next?
Now they're going to be put on our carts, our mail carts, and they're going to wheel them out to the warehouse, and then they'll be loaded into the van and driven back to Fairfax and Gibbon and put in the post offices and then delivered to our subscribers.
Oh.
I know, I should take a picture of both of you and put it in the paper as twins. What's your
Cool.
name?
Alana.
What's your name?
Amanda.
Do you ever like switch names and try to fool people?
Yeah.
That'd be a good story.
Mr. Werner can't tell us apart either.
You have to start wearing numbers on your shirts so you know if you're number 1 or you're number 2.
Do you know what the newspaper is called in Superman?
It's called the Daily Globe. And I even know who the editor was.
Who was it?
Perry White.
Are you a Superman fan?
In this business, you have to be Superman. I have a little Superman character that sits above my desk. Reminds me of what I do every day. I have to be a Superman to get this publication out some weeks.
So what's all in this week's paper?
Well, ironically, we have photos this week of KGFW kids when they were at Twins Fest. This is a picture of them with Eric Perkins. And then we go to the sports page. And we have the KGFW kids interviewing the Minnesota Gophers. So ironically, you're here today when we publish the paper with pictures of your classmates in the paper.
Well, it looks like you're all finished, guys.
Yep, another publication done for me. This is like 1,360, I think, for me.
Well, I'm done here, but my job isn't done. I have to go deliver the rest of the papers. We take some to some of the businesses in Gibbon and Fairfax and Franklin and Winthrop. So if somebody doesn't get a subscription, they can still buy a newspaper from us. We bundled about 300 extra papers to do that. Then I get to go to the post office in Hutchinson, the post office in Hector, and Fairfax, Gibbon, Winthrop, and that just about complete my day at about 3 o'clock.
Wow, that's a lot of jobs.
Yes.
What do you do when you run in bad weather?
Drive slower.
I've had it over the years. I've been doing this 27 years, and there's been times where I've been stranded in snowstorms. So it's like the mail must go through, the newspaper must get published and delivered. So it can be a challenge sometimes driving, since we drive 45 miles up here and back again.
Johann Gutenberg will be proud.
He would. He'd have an ink-stained thumb just like mine.
This is why I wear dark clothing, because my fingers get pretty black by the end of the day.
Thank you very much, guys. We appreciate for you guys to be on the show.
You're welcome, and I encourage all kids your age to read the newspaper. It's not only about the internet. You can learn about your community by reading the newspaper, too.
Same here. Good luck and take care.